Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.
Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon.
And I am Marcus Mack, and this is the EAC Show coming to you live from sunny South Florida with episode 56.
Marcus Mack, we finished our interview last episode 55, with San Francisco Giants pitcher Shaun Anderson. What a great interview. Everything worked out perfectly. He literally, he gave us all the information that we needed. It was great. We had a fun time on camera, and we had a fun time off camera. Marcus Mack, give me your perspective. I want to hear your perspective first on what did you think of the interview overall with Shaun?
I think it was a lot of good energy. A lot of good energy in the room. There was areas that I felt like we didn't touch, but we got mostly, a really good interview out of him, and we had fun.
Now, can you speak on a little bit about some of the stuff that you're saying that you didn't touch, but you did touch it off camera because you did get the answers. So why don't you just elaborate a little bit? And for you guys that haven't seen it yet, you can go check it out on YouTube and on all your favorite podcast platforms. Episode 55, Shaun Anderson, San Francisco Giants pitcher, joined the EAC Show, myself and Marcus Mack, and we talked about a bunch of things. But can you tell the audience and the viewers what's some of the stuff that we talked about on air with Shaun?
You mean the stuff that we missed?
Yeah, we missed. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I wanted to talk about, since we always talk about this big negotiation between the Players Association and the administration, with Rob Manfred holding up the season and all of this stuff. It's like, there was a negotiation tactic that they used where they was trying to cut down the percentage, and it's very clear that the people who made more money, it was going to affect them more than the people who made less money. And there's way more players that make less money than there are the top tier players who make a lot of money. So I wanted to ask him, how did he feel? Like, do they feel together? Like, do they, like, everybody's together? They're banded together. They're not separate. It doesn't matter how much we make. There's no difference, and everybody's in this together. Or is it one of those things where it's like the pressure is on? But we did still touch on it, and he was like, "Listen, everybody wants to play, and we're not letting them back us down in the corner. And obviously, you see, nobody's willing to back down." So,
all right, we're gonna get into it in a little bit. It's one of the topics that we're gonna talk about on today's show. They did guarantee all prorated amounts, so those cuts are not going to happen, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. What I did enjoy of the interview, Marcus, is that I did enjoy that Shaun was willing to discuss certain things that he might have not been able really to. He did a good job of trying to keep it copacetic, trying to keep the interview even keel. And then you and I, myself, we piggybacked off of it and made sure that the audience and the viewers, the listeners, did understand that, look, some of these things are our views and our feelings and not necessarily Shaun's. So I think that helped out a lot to make the interview very comfortable for him.
Right.
We are going to have him on. He did guarantee us that he will come on during the season. So we're going to talk to Shaun once again as this season goes along. And Marcus Mack, I know topic number one for today with us is going to be the back and forth between MLB and the Players Union about how many games need to be played to get this season going. I always said there was going to be a season. And when we talked to Shaun fully understood, and he got that these players are going to go from 0 to 100 immediately.
From the very first pitch.
Yeah, very first pitch from the very first game, because these games just mean more.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely spoke about this on the last episode with Shaun. It's obvious that they can fit 70 games in this season. Very obvious. Easily could fit 70 games. But yet and still, Rob Manfred denied that. He denied that proposition. He denied that straight off the bat. There will be no 70 games. And, to me, it's very clear that he's killing time, because the more time he kills, the less games they can play. They've agreed to fully prorated salaries, no cuts. So now the only thing left in the air is how many games we're going to play. So if you guys not going to agree to what I want, okay, we're just gonna stall.
Now, Marcus Mack, I forgot to mention earlier that this is our Effort Friday episode. So this is our uncensored episode. So Ron Manfred and all the rest of you owners, cut the goddamn bullshit and let's get this shit going. Seriously. I mean, come on. What's the difference? Yo, we talking about 10 games. The players want 70, you want 60. Like, this is a joke. You were arguing over 10 fucking games.
But listen, 10 games to us might be is just 10 games. 10 games to the owners is the difference between spending $100 million and $125 million.
The owners are gonna make this money back. They're not broke. They're great businessmen. They wouldn't be owners of teams if they weren't great businessmen. Cut this fucking bullshit, yo.
But they're good businessmen for this very reason. They're playing chess.
Marcus, their business. Let me explain something to you. Their businesses. How can I put it? Yes, they do philanthropy. They do certain things to where they take care of workers and they outreach to the communities, which is totally understandable. Doing this would literally outreach to the community because we as fans need baseball right now. Now, Marcus, I'm going to tell you this right now. The NBA is going to like a college basketball playoff system. The NHL is going to a college basketball playoff system. The MLS is going to a college basketball playoff system. The only sport this year, that will have playoffs and an actual final championship game as normal is going to be Major League Baseball. Only one. The Super Bowl is played.
Do you think that's a problem? Do you think that they should do something different for this season?
No. The Super Bowl is played in February of next year. There is no other sport that is going to be playing playoffs and their final game like normal, like Major League Baseball. You have the whole world watching. There's no reason to stall. None. Other than player safety. Player safety and those protocols, if those things aren't figured out, take as long as you want. Because I always want
to put the most important thing.
Yes.
Even Shaun made that very clear. Shaun Anderson made that very clear the last episode. He said, man, listen, our families is involved in this as well. It's not just a matter of the fans, the players union, the owners. It's not just that our families involved. We have to make sure everybody's safe. And sometimes people overlook that part.
Right.
And once everybody's safe and everybody's healthy, I think, that should be priority. But past that, I think it's all just politics. But, they said, I heard once before that a rich man don't stay rich by spending his money. You know what I'm saying? So all rich people penny pinch. I mean, most of them. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have a problem with penny pinching, Marcus. I really don't. Like, if you got a necessity, like if you have to necessarily make cuts or cut costs or whatever it may be to save the longevity of the sport or your franchise or whatever they may be, it's understandable. But when the players ask to reveal those financial terms and you deny them to look at them, I'm calling once again bullshit. That is bullshit. It's all lies. They're not broke. They just don't want the players to actually see what's really going on. It's an illusion. They're magicians. What does a magician do? The magician takes one card, he has another card, he flips it. It's sleight of hand. That's basically what they're doing. They're like, look, come watch all the shit we're doing over here and don't pay attention to the shit we're doing over here.
I mean, like I said, I think it's all a tactic, and I respect it. I just feel like it's getting a little out of hand now, man. Like I'm telling you, just I give it a month. Mysteriously, they're just gonna agree on something because that's all.
No. It's gonna be less than that. They'll figure it out. But Marcus, on top of that, you and I both know we talked about it on the last episode 54, before we interviewed Shaun. Turner just agreed to a brand new media deal with the MLB over $1 billion.
Which is a big source of their revenue.
And there's no games right now. So they cut a deal with a media conglomerate for over $1 billion, and there's no games.
part of the Players Association proposal. Part of their proposal was a 50-50 split of incremental TV revenue for any additional postseason games in 2021. Yeah. So that's a big chunk. That's a big split there. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money that's being made, and just like you said, man, there's no reason for these guys to be penny pinching, but they are. And why they're doing it, I don't know.
It's just like Marcus. It's just like anything else. When there's a financial crisis or some type of recession or depression or whatever, market crash, this and the third, rich always claim they're broke. They always sit there, I don't have enough money. And then the next thing you know, that once everything starts getting going, the CEOs have record profit quarters. They're getting bonuses out the wazoo, this and the third. I know the lady from Walt Disney. She's a Walt Disney heir, and she constantly writes her own company because she's still in the company, saying that the CEO makes too much goddamn money.
That's just like okay. There's how many, and obviously all baseball fans would know this. As a matter of fact, anybody would see this very regular. They'll see advertisements everywhere. So everything is real estate. So
did you see the new thing? Did you see the new thing that they're gonna advertise on their jerseys?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. That the part of the proposal was clubs granted permission to sell advertisements, patches on uniforms in 2021. So
that's just more money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then given the situation right now, there's gonna be so many people watching baseball. Obviously, the people who always watch baseball, but it's like, like you said, from the very first game, it's going to be almost like playoffs because it's crunch time, and everybody's trying to get in because it's less games. So, the highest, I might be mistaken, but to my knowledge, the highest amount of money made through marketing in that way, advertisement, is NASCAR. Because of how much.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're talking about how heavily laden they are on marketing dollars in that sport. Yes, NASCAR. You got to add They put an ad on the bumper, the gas tank, the freaking. The only thing they don't put it is on the windshield. You can't put it on the windshield. That's the only place it can't go. Everywhere else is fair game.
Yeah. So when you got these kind of things now, it's like they're turning everything into real estate. They're trying to pull money out the wazoo the best they can, and they're gonna do it, and it's gonna work. Everything is gonna bring in money. I'm saying, because
that'd be funny, Marcus. We should do a skit on that on what big companies should advertise on what teams. You know what I'm saying? So like it would be like, who do you think should advertise, like the New York Yankees? Who should they put on their shirt? You know what I mean?
That'd be dope. I got to put some thought into that one. That'd be
AT&T?
dope. I mean, yeah. We giving up a whole lot of ideas, man. Don't be surprised if somebody pop up with one of these shirts. Word. Did you see? I hate to go in that direction, but I was looking at something the other day. I was reading that there was a man that was trying to trademark the Black Lives Matter hashtag.
Yeah, I mean,
but really, it's like 3 people who really own that. Who own that slogan? It's 3 actually 2 women.
It shouldn't. It should. If it does, it goes to a nonprofit or whatever it may be. There shouldn't be somebody that really capitalizes off of it.
Yeah, but I think that's really this is America. So when you got stuff like that, I think that's like just pure business. When I seen it, I was like, that was smart. I think one of the biggest cases of that where they used it in warfare was when we going a little left here. We going to music now, but when 50 Cent was going at it with The Game, another artist, and he trademarked GU Not because Game was using GU Not to diss G Unit, and 50 went and trademarked GU Not. Now he can't use it. That was of course. That was a huge tactic right there. Listen. Again, more business tactics.
Of course, absolutely. I mean, there's going to be a baseball season. We're going to see some type of games you play, like you said, and like how we talked about on the last episode with Shaun Anderson, pitcher of the San Francisco Giants. the games are going to be really, really spicy. Really spicy. So, Marcus, I know that we're going to stick to baseball on this subject. The Philadelphia Phillies and the Toronto Blue Jays have both closed their spring training facilities because of an outbreak of coronavirus cases that has been taking place at those facilities.
Right here in Florida, too.
Now, we saw earlier today, Governor DeSantis kind of like threw agriculture and farm workers under the bus, basically saying that the spike in numbers, and we love Ron. We love Ron. Ron, we love you, by the way. We love Ron. Basically, he was blaming them for the spike in coronavirus cases. Now, I feel that's a little bit like of a dig, because what are those guys really, or women, what are they really supposed to do? Like, if you've ever seen, for anybody that doesn't know, these workers, these migrant workers come here on certain visas to be able to come into the country temporarily to pick the agriculture for the state, and that agriculture goes all over Florida and it goes to other states as well. They are literally riding buses, school buses, together because they live in areas where they all live together, and then they get bused to the farms.
Yeah.
What do you want them to do?
You know, there's like an old saying that dudes used to say, like in like courtrooms, or when a crime happens or something like that, and somebody has to get charged, somebody has to take the blame. You know, so when he's just pointing the finger, and it's like, you know, now this is the same man who opened up. He was opening up Florida.
This is what I just think, and shout out to whoever's on his staff, and hopefully you can steal my idea. I don't care. I think that you take the other side of it and you sit there and say, for people like that just, there's no other means of transportation to get to work. Like, you can sit there and say that, yes, that's probably a cause of it, but we need to figure out how to solve that problem.
That's very progressive, but we're dealing with politicians here. Politicians who don't want people pointing the finger at them saying that, yo, this is happening, you need to fix it. Obviously, the rational thing to do is fix it, but no, now I want to deter the energy from me to something else. And, you know, then it becomes political. That's why politics is.
So in sports, Marcus Mack, I know that this is what they're going to end up doing. They're literally just going to push the people that end up testing positive for coronavirus aside. They're going to test people left and right. They're going to do the temperature test. They're going to do the swabs or whatever it may be to make sure that people are okay. And the ones that aren't, you know, they're just going to keep playing like it's normal. They're not going to stop motion of a league or games for these positive tests. They're literally just going to quarantine those people, push them off to the side, and everything's just going to get the ball rolling. So in all actuality, you're going to see more coronavirus tests come out positive and people come out positive, but you're not going to see the reaction how it first happened when Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell shut down the whole NBA. That's not going to happen.
I didn't know if we was going to save this for Monday, but I think this kind of fits in here, and it just goes to show how the NBA is really staying on top of everything and how they're pro player. Well, obviously you know about it, but those who don't know about it, the NBA is they're gonna give out to each player smart rings to track, you know, COVID-19 symptoms as the season goes on. So I guess what it does is it checks your temperature and stuff like that. Like, this is what the NBA is doing. This is dope.
So Marcus, listen. So I reached out as soon as I saw that. I reached out to a friend of mine, and he didn't want to say anything on camera. He gave me a quote off camera. This is technology that he has been working on even before this happened. He was doing consulting work for the company that ended up making this ring for Disney. And he was working on this exact thing in a different area. Disney wanted to figure out a way to use kind of like bracelets to be able to track people on their in their, you know, in Disney World and stuff like that. So, for example, if you took pictures, you could then load your pictures to the bracelet. That bracelet would then have a cloud, and that cloud, you could download the cloud. It was a whole big spiel, and he was part of that consulting team. So when I reached out to him and he told me, he's like, look, they have so much things that you have no idea about. This was already in the works. This just had to be adapted to test for Corona or COVID-19. That was the only tweak that needed to be done. This technology existed. It's not like something that just came out the blue.
Yeah, definitely. I think I can't lie. I want to do some more research on this because I think this might go a long way. This whatever company makes this, whoever has this patent, there's going to be a whole lot of money and a whole lot of money made from this here. And I want to look more into it. And I won't be giving any kind of tips to anybody, anything like that, because we don't give business tips. But I will keep you guys updated on what because I would love to find out what company that is and see if they got an IPO.
So we're looking forward to the MLB getting started, and that's going to probably end up happening end of this month. The spring training facilities will probably teams end up getting back to their routine. The spring training 2.0 is what they're calling it, and they'll probably start playing games in the middle of July, Marcus Mack. The NBA starts July 31st down at Walt Disney World. They'll be playing there. They'll have a whole bunch of things to do. You name it. The NBA is ready to go. They're ready to get going. And Marcus Mack, we have to do this because once again, this is the second time, and this is my fault. Second time out of all the episodes that we've done, I did not shout out the promo again on the last episode, Marcus Mack. So we have to shout out the promo. No, we didn't shout out the promo. So shout out to El Cubano El Cubano Sandwich Shop. That's our sponsor since episode 1.
Day 1.
Go enjoy a Cuban coffee or cafe con leche to start your day. The daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. When you go there, if you use the promo code EAC, you will save 25% off of your order. Make sure you go there. El Cubano Sandwich Shop, 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC, and that's elcubanosandwichshop.com in Coral Springs. Marcus Mack, this is our Epic Friday episode 56. If you guys didn't see it already or listen to it, you can go check out episode 55 with Shaun Anderson, San Francisco Giants pitcher. Marcus Mack, we got a couple more things to talk about. It's still related to COVID-19 with this next topic.
Did we talk about the major leaguers committing the $1 million to the minor leagues?
Oh, you know what? Thank you for bringing that up, Marcus. That was something that we were supposed to talk about. That shout out to all those major leaguers that ended up donating over $1 million to support the minor leaguers. Shout out to all of them. We appreciate all of them putting that money together and looking out for the guys underneath them, because as Shaun stated in the last episode, those minor leaguers do not get paid enough money, Marcus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because of the whole pandemic right now, the COVID-19 and the virus spreading the way it has, and it's just put everything on pause. And I think Major League has done a great job with taking care of their minor league, and as well as a lot of the other staff involved with Major League Baseball.
Absolutely, Marcus Mack. So then still sticking on to COVID-19, the Clemson football team, Marcus Mack, 21 Clemson football players tested positive in the latest COVID-19 screening. Like I said, and like we talked about earlier, it's only going to get worse. You got all these people coming together from different areas and different places with all these colleges. These tests are only going to get worse. And what they're going to end up doing is, like I said, they're going to push these guys aside, test all the rest of them, make sure all the rest of them is good. Once these guys finish their quarantine, they're just going to bring them right back and get into the swing of things.
Yeah, so they big shout outs to the school for staying on top of this stuff, and taking care of their athletes. They did an initial run with 169 tests,
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe in total from beginning to now, they did 315 tests where 28 people tested positive. So, to catch these things in the early phases, to catch this virus in particular in its early phase is like crucial. So big shout outs to them for staying on top of that, man. And it wasn't just the football players that had it. It was some basketball players as well. So, they're definitely doing everything that they can to stay on top of it and take care of their athletes, which is commendable.
I think it's a little bit different now, Marcus. Like, people are like, yeah, it's kind of, how can I put this? It's kind of messed up. It's like, yeah, I got corona. Like, it's almost like it's a norm now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want to call it a norm. I want to say, because here's the thing. It's a virus. It's a virus. Like, people catch viruses. It's just however this came about or whatever. It's not the first virus and it won't be the last. It's just the shock of it isn't like that shock value. Oh my God, COVID-19, we're all going to die. Then people found out, well, you can survive COVID-19. And it just depends on your immune system, how fast you all catch on to it. And you see about it. How fast you treat it. So, I don't want to say it's the new, because everybody's talking about the new norm. Listen, I was down in Miami today, right? And I'm seeing people running on the street with their masks on. And I'm like, you don't have to run.
do that.
And it's like, people are just so impressionable, Now, by all means, you go in a crowded area where there's people, there's no telling who has what, and you should wear your mask. You know what I'm saying? But, as far as it being a norm, there's a lot of things that become normal as soon as people start to get influenced by media and all that stuff. So,
what I can't stand, Marcus? I can't stand when I'm talking to somebody and we're talking about the situation and they sit there and they say to me, oh, I think I had it. I think I had it in January. Like, I think I had it. Yeah, I definitely had it. I had it in December. Like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, stop, trying to be a part. Like, you're almost like the kid that doesn't want to be left out. Like, oh, yeah, I had it. You had it? You test positive? Oh, no. But I was, like, coughing a lot, and I was like, yeah, I had a fever. And So you don't know if you had it? No. So then you didn't have it.
I'm telling you, this pandemic here, and it wasn't just a United States thing. It was all over the world. It hit like wildfire. It was crazy. Some people took it for a joke, and they did catch COVID-19. And I just think that science has nothing to do with emotions, feelings, your opinion on it. It's just science. It is what it is. And they actually say that if you have COVID is when you're supposed to wear the mask, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know how it's supposed to play out. All I know is that I'm trying to stay clear of crowds of people because they like outside is open. People are outside. You know what I'm saying? I go outside, but I try to keep it healthy. Saying you never know what's going on. My brother caught it. My cousin caught it, and they was sick, like in the house, sick. Like, bro, are you okay? Bro, I can't breathe. Like, you know what I mean? So I know it's a real thing. I lost 2 family members from COVID since it happened, but they had health problems. So it's a real thing, and I'm not telling anybody to take it lightly. It's not a joke, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think media has such a big influence on people, how they think, the things that they do, and people barely even just pick up their phone and Google things. You know what
I'm just tired. I'm just really tired of fucking talking about COVID-19. This is the last subject of today. Like, real talk, this is the last subject today. No, sorry. We have 2 more. Sorry, I apologize. We have COVID? 2 more subjects today, and one of them is still talking about fucking COVID-19. I'm just tired of talking about this shit.
We're gonna break up the show into sections. We're gonna talk about Major League Baseball. We're gonna talk about football, basketball. We're gonna talk about everything in sections. Okay, so this is the COVID-19 for baseball. This is the COVID-19 for football. This is COVID-19 for basketball. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, listen. So Patriots season ticket holders, elevated risk of COVID-19 can skip 2020 season, come back in 2021.
So shout out to the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots are basically forgiving people that feel like they're COVID-19, they're at risk. They're season ticket holders. They can skip 2020. And part of the agreement, as long as you come back in 2021, your season tickets will be honored. So shout out to Robert Kraft and the whole Patriots organization for thinking about the bigger picture, not the smaller picture. They'll lose the money now, whatever it may be. That's fine. And then, we'll get the fans back. The fans are not going anywhere, man. That's just the reality of it. The fans are not going anywhere. The fans are going to be there to watch basketball, baseball, football.
And that's the reason why you should take care of it.
Yeah, of course. That's 100%. That's 100% the reason why you should take care of them. Marcus Mack, this topic has absolutely nothing to do with COVID-19, and thank God. Seriously. Like nothing to do with COVID-19.
I don't know who heard about this yet, but Kendrick Perkins in tears after Kevin Durant calls him a sellout. So I guess Kevin Durant has the inside scoop on Kendrick Perkins and some things that were said, and he's pretty much saying like, "Yo, listen, don't make me air out your dirty laundry, big fella." And he put him in tears. He called him a sellout. Which, I don't know exactly what he did to make him a sellout. I don't know what conversation they had, because he said like it's a group chat amongst all of them, and there's some things that was said and whatever. So, now I'm nosy. I want to know what's going on.
So basically what ended up happening is because of everything that's going on between Black Lives Matter and the protests and stuff like that with the George Floyd murder, Kyrie Irving has said that going back to play basketball right now just doesn't make sense, that there's bigger pictures or bigger fish to fry, and that they could use their social platforms to be able to, bring on a bigger message. I don't have a problem with Kyrie saying that. I really don't. But then I still don't have a problem with people saying that we can play basketball and we can do this at the same time. Like, we can still protest and get our point across and use our larger platform, the NBA, to be able to express ourselves and our views, which the great Adam Silver, because we love Adam Silver, best commissioner in all of sports, has said that. He said, I am not going to discipline players for protesting. Players are allowed to use their platforms and the NBA's platforms for freedom of speech. So what ended up happening is Kyrie, I guess, on a group chat between some of his Nets teammates, was basically saying we shouldn't play the season. There's bigger fish to fry. And as a matter of fact, we don't even need the NBA. We should start our own league. So this had gotten out, and Kendrick Perkins told Kyrie Irving, man, you need to quit all that nonsense that you're talking about, because, you can use your platform. So Kendrick Perkins kept it politically correct. Then I guess Kevin Durant called Kendrick Perkins a sellout. So when he called Kendrick Perkins a sellout on social media, Kendrick Perkins went to social media before this interview with Stephen A. Smith and said that I took it light on Kyrie Irving. Please don't let me air this clown's dirty laundry out there, because I will. And then the interview happened, and then Stephen A. went on his amazing barrage and actually got Kendrick Perkins to cry.
Shout outs to Stephen A. Smith. He always knows what to say. He always knows the right things to say. Big shout outs to that.
I don't have any issue with Kyrie saying what he said. I don't have any issue with Kendrick Perkins saying what he said. I don't have an issue with Kevin Durant saying what he said. We're all men in this situation. Like, handle it like men. Deal with it the right way. Yo, Katie, you think I'm a sellout? Okay, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But I know what I'm trying to say. We can use our platform. We can use the NBA's platform and still play basketball games to get our point across. As a matter of fact, I think that it would be more of a statement if they did that. Now, it's not just because I want to see basketball games. That has nothing to do with it. Kyrie Irving makes a lot of money. But does Kyrie Irving make a lot of money to the point where he could really create his own league? You will get crushed by the NBA, Kyrie. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you the truth.
Let's get the big baller brand on the line.
That's a fluke. You saw where those kids went. Those kids don't even wear their own shoes anymore.
Yeah, man. I think the power of influence is so big, and we see that now with social media and all of these influencers that's popping out of nowhere. I think these big platforms, especially something as big as the NBA, man, and the influence that these household names have, whether it be a Kyrie Irving or even a Stephen A. Smith or LeBron James, and whatever the case may be, when these people stand up and they say things on a platform, the platform that they have, the reason why they have the platform is because the influence that they hold, being household names, when they open their mouth and say things, people listen.
Right.
So when
Absolutely.
you use your platform to influence, you can use your platform to uplift, you can use your platform to change the direction and change the momentum of not just the community, but society in a direction that it may be going. You could change it, shift it in a better, more positive direction. I'm all for it. So big shout outs to the NBA for giving its players that leeway to say, hey man, listen, this is a very serious thing. If you guys want to talk about it, go on ahead, do your thing. If you want to make a difference, go out there, do your thing. I just seen something on Instagram the other day where a police department, I can't remember what police department it is right now, but they fired one of the officers wanted to protest, and they told him, yo, listen, you cannot protest. So I believe they fired him. So he went that same day. He said, man, listen, I just left from over there and now I'm protesting here. So for them to tell this man, yo, you can't protest because he's an officer, I don't understand. I just think, whether it be protesting, whether it be just standing up for what's right, whatever the case may be, man, when you have a platform and you can inspire, uplift, I say it again, do it.
Right.
In any way, shape, or form, however you can do it without compromising yourself, do it.
Yo, shout out to Adam Silver. You know what Adam Silver reminds me of, Marcus Mack? He reminds me of that white boy that hangs out with all the black and Hispanic kids back in school. You know what I'm saying? He was the only white boy that you let in the clique, the only one. He gets it. He figures it out. He was almost a white boy, and I'll be honest with you. He is the white boy, and there's plenty of them, that you allowed to say the N-word. That, that happens. That does happen. Don't act like it don't. To this day, it still happens.
Feel a little funny about it. You look at him and be like, that's him.
Yeah, that's him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he been with us since the monkey bars, so he can say that. You know what I mean? Like, literally, he's considered one of us. You know what I mean? We don't see color. You know what I mean? It's just the way it works. You know what I mean?
Actually, I don't like being the fun police. So, I don't tell people anything. Like, I've recently tried to stop saying that word myself. Like, I try to replace it with king or, something like that, or something more uplifting. Because we turned it into a term of endearment. And again, using your influence, just people around, whether it be younger guys.
It was an acceptable culture for so long, Marcus Mack. It was an acceptable culture. Like, when you said that type of stuff, you were saying it out of endearment. You were saying it out of, you're my dude, you're my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we down for the cause. Like, you understand the struggle. You get it. It wasn't like it was to belittle somebody, or there was no negative attachment to it.
Until the context was changed.
Exactly.
When the context is changed, then it becomes something different. But when you completely eliminate it, then you could try something different or whatever. But like I said, I'm not the fun police, so I don't tell people like, yo, you shouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, have a ball, bro. I don't care if I'm saying, but just to kind of wrap it up, man, I commend all the protesters, all the people on the front line that's out there day in, day out. They get off of work, they're going out there and they understand the bigger picture I commend Adam Silver. You know what I'm saying? I commend all of the people with some sort of power that's not afraid that it may affect their bottom line. So they'll stand up for what's right. And like I said on the last episode, when I said something about it at the end, right is right.
Oh, hey, don't forget about the police officers too. We commend them. We commend the police officers for maintaining peace and doing everything the right way. Because not for nothing, at the end of the day, there's a ton of them that do their job properly and they go home to their families every night. So shout out to them as well. Marcus, I wanted to give you a shout out earlier in the show, but I'm going to do it before we end. That throwback White Sox shirt is ridiculous.
Thank you. I'm gonna get more jazz.
I think that's a 1972. I could be wrong, but I think that's a Carlton Fisk White Sox shirt. It might be a little bit late. It might be like 80s or something like that. I gotta double check and make sure.
It's a practice jersey. It's the practice.
Yeah, but the logo on that Chicago White Sox joint, that's throwback for sure. And
I had the hat too.
We're going to confirm that this weekend, Marcus Mack. We're going to have an interview of Boston Red Sox pitcher, but I need to confirm it first. Once I confirm it, we'll blast it on social media. We're going to have a guest on next week's show as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. And each episode is going to be better than the last, but each interview, we're going to try to make it much better than the last interview. And I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of our listeners. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll keep coming with great content. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So make sure you guys click like and subscribe and leave a comment on YouTube. Hit the notification button to stay updated with all of our podcast updates and stuff like that, and on YouTube as well. We'll check you guys out next episode. Marcus Mack, enjoy the weekend. Have a good time. Stay COVID-free, and we'll see you on Monday. Take care.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.